Hello, today we're going to be going over the easiest way to solo the refinery and extraction permits at level 4. And of course these will work for any level below 4 because those are all easier. Now the first method we're going to go over may or may not be intentional, I'm not sure. It was part of the last big update, but if it wasn't intentional, then eventually it'll get patched out. So if it doesn't work, then of course the second part of the video is going to be the part that does work. So as you run silos, you get these refinery and extraction permits. You take these to any oil refinery on the map. They look like silos, but they're called like oil fields or something like that. You can take them to any of those and you can use them. And if you'll notice, each oil field is in an area that has its own level. So the one I like to use is in a high level zone, but this one here is in a level 28 zone. Now, why is that important? Well, that's part of the last big update. So each refinery ticket says it's going to spawn bosses of certain levels based on its level. But since the last patch, that's not true. If you use a tier 1 refinery ticket or extraction ticket in the level 45 zone, you're going to be fighting level 45 enemies. If you use it in the level 28 zone, you'll be fighting level 28 enemies, and you'll get the same reward either way. So if you use a tier 4 in the level 28 zone, you only have to fight level 28 enemies, and the end reward is for the tier 4 completion. So this will make soloing a whole lot easier, right? If you just go to level 28 zone and run these tier 4s. Now again, this may not be intentional. This is since the last patch. So if it's not intentional and it gets removed from the game, make sure to check out this next part here to see how to solo the higher level tickets in the high level zones. Alright, just for testing purposes, I'm in a level 14 area doing a black permit level 4. Should be 45. So we'll see what happens. I'm not really prepared for 45, so if it turns out to be 45, I'll probably lose. But yeah, let's find out. And look like I'm on level 17. This is what we wanted to see. Alright, there we go. Successful. We'll go pull our loot. Should get 200 Stardust. 80 acid. So there we go. 200 Stardust. 80 acid. So yeah, so the level 17 area is even better. Alright, to run a tier 4 refinery permit and extraction, what you would need to bring with you are going to be some metal scraps, some logs, some gravel, and some electronic parts, computer chips, whatever you want to call them. You also need a set of gear at tier 5, right? And you calibrate your guns however far you want. I would recommend max calibration, but you don't necessarily need that. It does help a lot though. All right, so max calibrate your main weapon, and if you can, max calibrate your armor. But again, it's helpful for a little extra damage. You can bring tungsten ammo for a little extra damage, or you can bring steel ammo. That is completely up to you. And so the refinery I like to use is the Black Fell oil fields. It's here pretty much it's pretty much just east of Blackfell. Boom, right here. Pretty easy to get to. The coordinates are in the bottom right if you need to see the coordinates. Alright, it's a level 43 area. If you look around the map, like over here, you'll see a brewery workshop. You can do it here. You'll find them in like every area. Furnace layer. Eastern Railway Junction. Ribbleby Market Workshop. So you can look around the map, you can find them in different areas. And so I showed you in the previous part of the video, you could probably even go to the Eastern Railway and fight tier 4 and fight level 14s for this. But we're going to assume that that's going to be patched out, and that here in a few days we'll all be back up to fighting the level 43s that we're supposed to be fighting with the tier 4. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do the tier 4 ones. Alright, so now we're at the refinery. What we're going to do is we can clear the area out around the building because we don't want these randoms joining into the fight. They might break your stuff easier. These guys get less distracted than the enemies from the refinery. So it's especially good to clear out the flyers. These flying enemies will cause a big problem with the refinery. They'll destroy it. That's a regen guy. We definitely don't want him joining in, so hopefully he doesn't see what's going on over here. You don't have to clear out kind of in the area, but I would recommend taking out that guy there. He can sometimes bullets will fly over there from your turrets and kind of ting the area a little bit, and it'll make him mad, and you'll come running over and attack your stuff. Now, you don't want that happening while you're in the process of taking on the refinery. Alright, now that we've cleared out around the refinery, we can go in and start it. One cool thing to do, though, is before you start it, you can go ahead and enter building mode, hit B, and you come up to these things and hit F, and it'll let you drag them around. Alright, there's stuff in here you can use to help block off different doorways. Alright, so we'll pick this square thing up, we'll take it upstairs, and we'll block this doorway off with it. Just like that. Pretty easy. Alright, and then usually I would block this doorway off. Sure, we're going to go ahead and do that anyway. As you can see, someone's parked their motorcycle here. Alright, so you can use your vehicles to kind of block doorways. But just in case that motorcycle isn't big enough to block that doorway, we'll go ahead and bring this. Usually if you have a truck or something like that, you can park it in the entranceways. And the enemies won't attack your trucks to come in. They'll only attack the defense structures that are built or that you've moved like this. But just in case that motorcycle doesn't work, we're going to put that there. Alright, so I would recommend if you have a truck or a car, you can park it in the doorway here. Just make sure to move it out before when you're done. That way none of the enemies even trying to get through the Right, that way none of the enemies even trying to get through that doorway. And then we come out and grab this pile of metal here. Alright, we're just gonna put this metal and block the doorway with it. Oh, I stepped outside the bounds, so it went away. So we gotta re-enter build mode if you do that. So it's kind of hard to see it, but there is an invisible bounds here. Usually it's glowing white. I don't know why I can't see it. Alright. Well, we'll go ahead and block this off. With that. Alright, we'll take these and we'll put them against the back door. You can rotate them however you want to do it. I just run outside and set this here like that. And then I'll grab the blue one and put it on the inside of the door. This will keep enemies. Most enemies won't be able to come through this right here throughout the rest of the fight. You don't hardly need any other defenses here. Right, but most of your enemies are going to try and break in through this door and through this door here. So these are the ones where you're going to want to build most of your defenses. The elite's going to come through here and just smash whatever you put here. And of course, they'll tear a bunch of stuff will spawn out here and tear through this as well. You'll have flyers spawning over here that you're going to need to take care of, so you're going to need to be able to get outside. Alright, so you can move these as well. So like we can put this in the doorway if we wanted. Right, and we can still get over this, but the enemies can't. Okay, so then we can put one outside. And then one inside. And by using these, you're saving yourself some resources. But enemies will tear through these pretty quickly. You can do this before you even start the fight. So we can use one of these to completely block this doorway here. Alright, we can use two of them to block this doorway here. Now, if you don't place these just right, though, they will kind of bypass these and come inside anyway. So make sure to put, when you're putting this together, don't put the two circles together, alright? Make sure to put the big end against the shorter end here. This will help prevent them from walking past the two of them. Try and overlap, it'll let you a little bit. Alright, there we go. So that should keep them out here. And then this is the next trick. This here, once they get in, they can just walk through this, so it doesn't matter if that's blocked. Alright, so we'll put some stuff down there in just a second. Alright, so that's how you use what they provided you to block off the areas with. And of course, like I said, if you have several people here doing this with you, but of course this video is about solo, you could have them park their cars back to back here and completely block this entranceway. Alright, and to start this, of course, you walk up to one of these and hit F, and then you can choose a permit to use. As you see, the permit 4 is supposed to spawn level 45 monsters, and this is what it'll spawn. So it's telling you what the elites are. This elite here, the Shepherd, is probably the worst to go up against in this because it can fly through the walls and just attack this directly. Alright, so this will tell you what your rewards will be. And then Extraction Permit 4, as you notice, less rewards, same level, but no fly. The flying boss isn't part of the Extraction Permit, so Extractions might be just a little bit easier to do. Alright, then of course Permit 3, even less rewards. Permit 2, less. Permit 1, less, so on and so forth. And as long as they're, if we did a Permit 2, they're supposed to be level 25, right? But they would actually be level 43 because of the area we're in. So it would be a waste to use this permit here. Alright, but this video is about Permit 4 and doing it solo, so here we go. Of course, I'm using the Shattered Maiden Deviant, and the Wolf Deviant might be a better one for this. But that's completely up to you on what deviation you prefer. It goes with your build. Alright, once we get started, it's time to build. Alright, so as we bring the gravel for this specific thing here, we can pop sandbags in this doorway. Alright, just like that. And then we're going to put wood around this. You could use sandbags, but wood's a little bit taller. It kind of blocks a few more shots from outside, but of course it breaks down fast. The idea is that hopefully they just don't get in here and hit your wood. But just in case, you can also quickly replace it. It's up to you whether you use sandbags or wood. I've always just used wood. So I'm just showing you the way I do it. Alright, and you want to drop a couple of defense turrets. You could do 3. The damage between 3 and 2 is not that great. I'm just going to use 2 to save some supplies. And you just kind of place a couple in here, like one here, and one over here, because this is most likely where the enemies are going to be running around in here if they get inside. Alright, so this is where you're going to put your 2 turrets inside. While we're doing turrets, we'll go ahead and go outside and place our outside turrets. So we're going to need 2 here, 1 on each side of this metal. 1, 2, like that. Okay, and these turrets really don't do damage. The purpose of them is not to do damage. They distract the enemies. Alright, so that's going to be the big deal. Then we'll come over to this side of the building here, for this entrance, right? We'll place 1 here. And then we'll continue on around. We'll place 1 right over here near these stairs. Kind of between the stairs and the doorway there to distract enemies, alright? So that's all we'll need. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's like 6 turrets. I wasn't keeping count. Alright. Well, we're on our time limit here, so we're running out of time to build these defenses. So we need to get our sandbags number 2. 1's too small, 2's perfect. So we'll use 2. We can block these off. Alright, and we'll just want to pop a couple in here. And a couple in here. It'll let us. It may only let you put 1 here, which is unfortunate. Let's see if we can finagle this around a little bit to get, well, not really. We have to block it off kind of like this. And then put it here. Alright, there we go. And then we'll go ahead and pop some here in this middle part. Block this off. Just in case, because these are a little bit stronger. They might get in. So we got to be careful about that. We're running out of time. So then we'll put another layer like this. That was weird. And then, of course, they'll just walk around it if we don't drop 1 here. Alright. And then if you don't have, you can park your motorcycle in that doorway like they did, or any of the doorways. And then, just in case, we'll pop a couple of sandbags here, like this. Just buys a little more time before they start dropping in. And of course here, they really like to come up and break in through this door. Right, so we'll place a couple of sandbags here, just to be safe. Right, that's how you set it up. We have 1 minute and 41 left. If you really wanted to, we could push some more sandbags around. It might be smart to go ahead and place some here, just to be safe. Let's go ahead and do that. Because we're so low. If we weren't, if you had 4 people here, or even 2 or 3 people, you wouldn't need nearly as many structures. Since we're so low, we're just going to play it safe. Go ahead and put sandbags on the other side as well. You can even pop some of these randomly out and about. And they may get distracted on them, sometimes fighting them for no reason, whatever. So if they're just gravel. I'm sure you have a ton of gravel, right? Just go around and drop a few just to give them something to do. And just to be safe, we'll drop a few more over here, but it won't matter if they're attacking the outer edges where those gates are. Putting all this in this middle won't really matter that much. Because they'll just bust through here. And this gets harder and harder to block off, so. Alright, and then once you have everything set up, you can come back to here. You can come back to this, and then you can start the match. As you can hear, our turrets are already shooting something that's not part of this. So we need to go check on that. We don't need to climb. Because these guys will destroy your turrets. You gotta watch for them. I guess some of the enemies are respawning that we cleared out. So you kind of got to do everything quickly. Alright, it started. Here we go. I see they're running around the outside of the building. Trying to get in. And they're all going to take over and go to this side for some reason. And they all go upstairs trying to get in. But looks like the motorcycle is blocking them from getting up that way. There's also going to be some flyers that have spawned we're going to need to go deal with. So I'm actually going to put my deviation here to fight these guys, and I'm going to go around and deal with the flyers real quick, because they seem distracted. Yeah. These guys right here, get rid of them as fast as possible. They bombard the building and break in through the sides, and then they start hitting your, they start hitting the refinery from out here. And you can't really defend against this other than killing them. Elite enemies approaching. First one is going to be the giant elite that's going to spawn over here. Yeah, that guy. Alright, we'll deal with him in a minute. He's going to break. He will let them break in. As you can see, they're getting through our defenses. But the elite will bust in through the big door in just a minute if we're not careful. We need to get back over and deal with him. But we should have taken out these flyers earlier. Wasn't sure if that motorcycle was going to hold. Okay, we got the flyers down. Go deal with the elite. Make sure no one's inside. They're trying to get inside through that way. See, he's tearing this down pretty quick. But he's gotten distracted by the turrets. And now we've distracted him by shooting him. The flying elite is going to be the real threat here. When it shows up, it's going to spawn right here. And it's going to fly inside. So we want to watch that. Okay, yeah. Now he's going to spawn here. Go inside. Yeah, there's up there. They're about to get in upstairs. But we can't worry about that right now because we have this guy to deal with. You have to distract him as quickly as possible. Your turrets will distract him a little bit. But you want to distract him as well. And kill him as quickly as you can. This guy right here will he will assault your refinery from far away and just really mess it up. Oh, he's not dead. We got to get back inside because those guys are breaking in. Yeah, they're not. Oh yeah, they're in. They'll start jumping down here. So they got distracted hitting some more sandbags. You don't have to kill everything. You just have to keep them from reaching the device. And okay, so we have a problem, right? The enemy outside is spawning. The final elite spawns on this right side. So we need to get out there and deal with him. Because he throws the gas bags inside and they will destroy our base. We need to get outside and deal with him now. So we'll take out any of the guys that were inside and head out there and deal with him. Yeah, there goes the gas bags. So I'm going to freeze him so he stops throwing gas. And he's assaulting and through aerial assaults as well. Alright, so she's not freezing for some reason. Okay, we only have 40 seconds left, so all we gotta do is get rid of this elite and we should be good. These ranged guys are kind of a problem. They'll quickly break down a lot of stuff. But they're not nearly as big of a threat as the flying ranged guys. Alright, so as you see, we still have some kind of way their way around the building getting in. But they're distracted. Look at them running around. They're distracted by these turrets. The point of these turrets is pretty much to distract enemies, and they fire off to give you a warning sound that there's enemies in the area, so you know kind of what is in range. You can hear them going off, and you can go find the correct turret and defend. So as you see there, not too bad, right? We walked right through it. If we'd had some more vehicles to block doorways with, even better. If we had more players, even easier, right? But this is how you do it solo. And now that it's over, we can get our reward. So you can see this same reward we got in the earlier part of the video, right? Anyway, so same reward. And now you can go around and collect up all your loot. And of course, if you have the food to eat that give you more acid off your kills, you could have popped that before, basically as this match started, and anything you killed, you know, that dropped acid would give you slightly more acid. If you're needing a lot of acid, which, you know, everybody is, right? Stardust and acid, the two things that we need the most in this game. Or the hardest to farm, I guess. That's what's great about this, the Stardust, just farming without having to burn controllers, right? Right, and then it's going to reset after a certain amount of time. All this will go away. You don't have to reset all this back up. So it does take a little bit of time as a solo player. If you have a team resetting it up, it'll go much faster. As you see, this guy's motorcycle has despawned. They're probably offline. So we would need to set up our own motorcycle there. Alright, and then we'll need to clear the area out again because everything respawns. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.